get their notifications and we'll get started. Anyways, we have some unfinished business, as I was telling you guys. We're going to be finishing an ornament. We started with this and have some lessons that I have learned by doing this, and wanted to let you know so that you don't have to go through those kind of mistakes. And Missouri gets a vote. So we have Indiana, Missouri, who else, and Louisiana, who else? All right. So lessons learned. You see this here is my heat gun. Not a good thing when you're doing acrylic ornaments. Not sure if you could see it. I'm gonna try to show it you in different. Do you see that here indentation? I'm not sure if you could see it in different lighting, but you see that here. There's an indentation here. I'm not sure if you could see it in different lighting, but there's an indentation here, and that is because of the heat gun. There's also some around here. See right here where I'm pointing with my pointer right here, there's an indentation, and that is where I spent a little bit too much time. And hello my friend B, how are you today, friend? Through YouTube. So I spent too much time there. I have not added the ribbon, and that is because I just ordered some ribbon that is going to be a velvet ribbon. I wanted to have a nice crimson red velvet ribbon. So it has not arrived. So I'm going to wait until it arrives. I just order it. So it's not going to come. But this is how it looks like. This is how it looks on the top. See how pretty that is? And that is, let me show you. The top was just this. See that ornate kind of frame right here. We cut it in little pieces, and that's what it gave us. I did paint with Rub Buff the top here, the hanging part, okay? And we did do by using different scrolls, or cast. We used them to create this. Loved it. I would like to do another one, but I have learned my lesson. So for that, how are you, my friend Lisa Marie? How are you, friend? Let me know where you're watching from. I'm trying South Carolina. God, oh yeah, you already told us. Lisa God is from South Carolina, and Janet, she said some. She said one of the Carolinas. I know you are in there. Jill is in Montana. Wow, so many votes, friends. All right, so now I painted one outside of your view. Make sure that it is completely dried. It has dried for 24 hours for sure, without me trying to overheat it or, forcing it to dry. In addition to that, what I did is that while the paint was wet, I added some, what is it? Baking soda. This is where I keep my baking soda because I buy it in a big, big bag, the wholesale store. So that's where I keep the one that I use here. And Minnesota gets a vote. Hi, Miss Cindy from let's see. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do this one. In addition to that, just to not keep you here long, because I do have another project that I want to start with you. It's that I started also doing, hold on a second, because I left this open and that's not okay. I started also creating all of this. So let me know, what are your thoughts on this one? Did I do okay? I think I could do better. I could definitely do better. South Carolina gets one. I'll get to vote. So I could do better. I definitely know that I could. But it was my first time working on a Victorian style ornament. So I learned some lessons and would like to do it again and do something better. All of those friends in YouTube world, how are you? Thank you for being here. If you leave me a text message, I'm sorry, a comment, I will be able to answer you right now because I'm live. Miss Deb, how are you, Miss Deb Cub? You loved it? You love it? Oh, great. Thank you. All right, I'm going to put it on the side. I'm trying to figure out where's the best place to put it. I'm going to put it over here with my ribbons. And then let's get started on the next one. Those that are on YouTube, if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Maureen, and I love creating handmade home decor that is easy, budget friendly, and always put a touch of elegance. Very neutral style as well. If this is your gig, if this is something that you like to see more of, please subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe and put that bell that says all, so that way you could get notifications right to your phone. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, so that way you could, it just helps the algorithm. Pretty much it. Okay, so now let me show you what I did. While I was here, I went ahead and did several of these. And I did a sheriff. See that? And I did it with nothing other than hot glue. And I did many little angels. You all, look at these. Every single little angel that you could think of, I think, is on my hand. So all of these angels, and this is all of the angels that come in something like this. So this is the cast. Notice that this cast is quite deep. This one right here, that's quite deep. See this one right here. So I don't try, and I did not attempt to do it with clay. So I did it with hot glue, which is a form of resin, and or you could do it with straight out resin. So that turned out really nice. See that? Turned out really nice. So I might be able to use them for something. I'm not sure what it is right now, but I just wanted to get those done. I also wanted to use, look at this one. And you see how flexible they become by just doing straight out, and I'm not kidding you guys, you're straight out in a silicone mold. You're going to go ahead and fill this up with your hot glue, and just let it be. Just let it be. Give it, it takes about, you know, 3 to 5 minutes, depending how big your cast is. But I just love how flexible it is. So when I'm going to put it on an ornament that is rounded, I have no issues making sure that it conforms to that. Here are my ribbons, my little bows. Here is a smaller one. So if you have not tried to do it with hot glue, that is another option for you. So who else is here? I know Texas is in the house. Miss Cindy's in the house. She's in Texas. So Texas is in the house. You don't have to fill the deep ones to the top. You're correct. I don't have to fill the deep ones for the deep ones into the top. What you're trying to get to is the inner molds inside. All right. Then I made this one. Isn't that so pretty? See how pretty it is? And it's supposed to kind of like a crown. So I made that one. Okay. Still has little pieces there, here and there, that I would love to kind of get to, but I think it came out pretty good. See, it just has little tiny webs. I also made lots of scrolls. So I was a busy bee. See, lots of different scrolls, lots of different ones. All right, so just different ones. And I still have some left that are pieces from my the clay ones. Now I'm going to show you, I keep mine here, the leftovers of pieces here. So see, I keep a lot of leftovers. So today, this one I made out of resin. This is actual resin. See how pretty that is? So today I want to go ahead and finish one. See, this one has, what do you call this? I forgot the name of this. Oh gosh, it's like I remember, but I can't remember. Remind me that I always forget the name of this. So this one right here, and this one is the insert that goes inside here. So let's get to it. We'll figure out what we're making. But I wanted to put that out there. I'm gonna put all this molds in here. Okay. So I thought of even, you know, doing that, or placing a little angel. Cameo, thank you. I'm like, it's not canvas. I dropped the angel. The angel has fallen. There's another angel. If in case, not sure you could see it with the lighting, but that's another angel. So we'll see. We'll see what we add on to that. All right. So now let's get to it. See if you could go ahead and get working. I'm gonna put my things over here. So we're going to be using, and this is going to be an acrylic one right here. I'm going to be using an acrylic one. And just for the sake of making sure that it doesn't roll away, I'm going to go ahead and put it right here, and this is how we're going to work. For some reason, I'm just not getting comments on YouTube, which that's not good. Give me 1 second, you guys. Can't see comments. Oh, now I see them. Okay. All right, so here we go. The Victorian style is pretty cool. Hello, Miss Farah Radford. How are you? Thank you for being here. Hope that you get to enjoy it and be able to subscribe. Catherine, how are you? Hello again. I'm the one who said you are pretty. Thank you. And that you are a teacher and like my art teacher. How are you? Thank you for coming back. It's called cameo. Thank you. Yes. It's one of those words that I don't use very much. And you're in Canada. Wow, Canada's in the house. All right, so now that this is completely dry, let's get to it. So the first thing that I kind of wanted to do was to be able to use something around, but I also really want to use this. So because this is actual resin, I'm going to go ahead and heat it up, heat the back of this, so that way I could be able to bend it. So who else is in the house? I think South Carolina has gotten a couple of what do you call that? Of votes. So now, see that? It becomes much flexible. So I'm going to go ahead and just bend it a little bit. And I'm also going to use today just the wood glue. I do have a bottle of Tide Bond, which I'm going to show you which one it is. I do have a bottle of Tide Bond, but to be honest with you, I think my Tide Bond went ahead and decided to get really hard on me. So, which I don't even know where it is right now. So I don't use it. So if you have also something like Gorilla Glue, things like that, it will do the trick. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. And this is the reason why I'm just telling you about this glue is just because it's a little bit less, a lot less liquidy. So now I'm going to try to see. And as I'm doing it, I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to try to heat it up just very carefully, just so that it could kind of form to its mold. Okay. So there it is. I'm going to just try to, form to its mold. Just making sure that I am not doing the same thing that I did with the other one, which is to kind of, overheat it. All right. So like that. Heat it up over here. And not only as we're heating it up, what we're doing also is that we are trying to dry up the glue underneath. Okay, so that looks like it's going to be adhering. See? Now, in addition to this, I'm going to go ahead and put something around it. So, and for that, it's going to be completely up to us what we want to put on there. But I really wanted to do that there. Okay. I could put one of these down here. And again, I'm going to just heat them up. And then with this hot glue one, I'm going to go ahead and just use hot glue. I'm going to put one on the top. See? Not sure if the lighting will allow you guys to see. See that? I'm going to, it looks like a little crooked. And that's, to lift it up. Looks a little crooked from one end, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that right now. Okay, that is fixed. I'm going to try the cameo mold, the frame for the cameo mold. It's a little bit, I'm going to see if I could at least hold it in place with a little bit of hot glue on one end while the wood glue dries. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Just a little tiny dot. while the hot glue dries. I'm sorry, the wood glue. Okay. So here it is. Much better. Now, I think the same thing that we did on the top, I think we should mimic that on the bottom. So I'm going to take another one. And with this one on the bottom, I think because it is flexible, see how flexible this is? This is, again, made with hot glue. I am going to kind of mold it up. And because this one, it's, because this one is made out of hot glue, I'm just using that a bit to my advantage, and then just, you know, using hot glue to hot glue it. Okay. I did put a little bit of wood glue in the middle just to make sure to reinforce that. Okay. So again, here we go so far. So the next time we're going to now address the sides. This is a much bigger ornament. So I'm looking in here for the other ones. These are much bigger ornaments, so I'm using a little bit bigger sides, scrolls or cast. Just trying to see which way the best. Okay, so I'll use these backwards. All right. So again, I'm going to go ahead and heat them up. Good evening, Miss Kelly. Miss Kelly, I always forget, where are you watching right now? And thank you, Natalie, for also sprinkling love. I'm putting a little bit of wood glue, and I'm also adding my hot glue. Just so that, and forgive me, I'm going to go ahead and work my side, and then I'll show you guys. It's a lot easier to do this way. Just trying to be sure that it stays in place where I want it to go. Just easily right away removing any excess of glue that seeps out. By the way, just want to let you know that on YouTube and also on Facebook and on TikTok, I did add a short video of my home decorated for fall. And the reason why I did that is because I'm going to take it all away. I am. I'm taking it all away this weekend. It's going to be all gone. No more fall. For my defense, I did add the fall decorations back the end of August. So I've had fall decorations in my home since the end of August. So because of that, I don't feel too bad. I really don't. That we're going to, that is, you know, we're going to have Thanksgiving, and yes, we're going to have Thanksgiving with Christmas decorations. You know, you guys, it just takes so long sometimes to just put Christmas up that I figure, you know, it is what it is. For so long, my family fought me and said, you know, no Christmas before Thanksgiving. And I did it the way they wanted. But then, you know, it was really very hard on me because I'm the only one decorating. See how pretty that is? See that? So I'm the only one decorating. So, you know, they don't really care. They just, all they do is just hear the pins and goodbye. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take my time. And the only way that I get to take my time is by me doing it starting early. I was supposed to do it last weekend, but you know, my grandmother passed away, so it's like detour, so we didn't get to do anything. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just put this video together, and I kind of, and in a way, guys, I do it to remember. It also helps me. It helps me to remember next year, what did I do? Because I forget. I really forget. And, you know, sometimes I also do it so that I could remind my husband that, no, you did not get me all the boxes, because you see this over here. You see this thing here. You didn't bring it down. It's still missing. So that is the way that I, you know, it's kind of like I do it. Miss Vicky, how are you? Martha, how are you, friend? And, oh, we have somebody else from Missouri. Lots of, we have different ones. And Jersey, it's the first time you got a new, what was it, a new governor, I think it was, right? So all right, so I think we got this going. And now, lo and behold, the color that we're going to be putting this together, that we put adding to this beautiful, very ornate kind of ornament, simply gold. All right, so here's a choice. I'm going to give you choices. And this is where you guys come in. Are you ready? So in the middle, should I use the cameo? Now that we know it's a cameo. Should we use the cameo to add to the middle here? See, it's a perfect space. Or should I use a little angel? There's a little sheriff. Not sheriff. A cherub. This is not the one that's going to stop you on the road. So it's not a sheriff. It's a cherub. Yes, Natalie. Yes, I finished the other one. Showing it up front in the beginning. And this is how the other one looks. This is the Victorian style one. All right. So I was telling them that I learned some mistakes because I went ahead and put the heat gun right here. You see the indentation, and here's another part right here. So lessons learned. Don't use heat. Don't use heat. All right, so again, let me know. What do you guys want? Let the voting begin. Cherub, angel, that's 2. Cameo, 1. Cherub, 3. Angel, that's 4. People on YouTube, you want to vote? Go ahead and vote. Let me know. Cherub or cameo? This is your chance. I think Cherub has gotten a little more votes. So I'm just trying to pull away little bits of glue. They're kind of there and kind of stuck. And it's like, you know when something is really annoying you? Well, this one is annoying me. So I'm trying to get it out. I don't see my pliers. All right, let's see. Guys, I have a beautiful star that I want to make, and I have everything next to me to do it. So hopefully, if not today, we'll get to do it soon. All right, Cameo got, I think it's 2 or 3 votes, and I have 5 votes for Angel and no votes from YouTube. So I think we're going with the Angel. I'm going to put the Angel at the end, and let's get painting. So for this one, I'm going to use a very small detail brushes, and I'm going to use another, okay, and I'm going to use just regular gold. Cherub got another vote, and this one is gold. Treasure Gold by Folk Art. It's one of my favorites to use. So this one is going to be very monochromatic in a way. So it's going to be, well, not monochromatic, just to the 2 colors, the white and the gold. I think once we add the gold, it's going to come up. One of the things that I really wanted to do also, I really wanted to do kind of like a crimson red. It's very in right now. It's very trending. I wanted to do that, especially because my decorations this year are going to be in that crimson red. It is in honor of my grandmother, because of that. In honor of my grandmother. So it's going to, that's the color that I have chosen. All right, here we go. Are we ready for the beauty? Okay. Oh, this one is not very flexible. It's a little bit stiff. Hold on a second. Let me get another brush. It's a little bit stiff, and we don't need it to be stiff for what we're doing. You all, I think we're not the last ones today. At least I don't think so. So I do have to watch my time. I started at 10, so we have another 15 minutes to go. I need to be aware of that. So if anybody wants to help me out with checking out the time, that'd be great. All right, so I have a couple here that may be able to help. Let's start with a bigger brush and be able to kind of start painting the bigger parts first. Now, this is not just going to have gold, you guys. We are going to add also, I am adding some pearls to this. So you hope you guys stay tuned. I'm going to show you how this is going to change in an instant. Okay. So yes, we are adding some pearls. This is the kind of ones that you guys need to have your glasses if you need readers. And I did not bring them. Look how pretty that looks. See? The inside of that, I did not get it, but it's going to have that crimson red. All right, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, there it is. Don't have to go too far. In the inside, because this is what's going to allow the cherub to pop. Hola, ma, ¿cómo estás? Cameo es esto. My mom wants to find out what is a cameo. ¿Tú ves el busto de esta señora? Así con nada más la parte de arriba. ¿Tú lo ves? Eso le llaman aquí un cameo. So there it is. Oh no, I dropped it. I need to get it at the end. All right, so I'm going to put the crimson red inside. And that way, once I add the cherub inside, then it's going to pop. So there it is. By the way, guys, thank you for those that have subscribed to my YouTube channel. And if you're not, haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? It's is, I like, you know, it's nice to see how it grows. All right, so this is the first code. See that? This is our first code, and it's going to have one more. And as I'm holding it, I'm really realizing that my frame is just slightly off. See, I'm holding it straight here. You see that? It's just slightly off. It is what it is, because I'm not changing anything. That's how you know that it's man-made, girly-made. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start hitting the rest of these. Now, in a minute, I'm also going to use another kind of gold just to highlight, just to kind of give it a different look. We got 10 minutes. Thank you, Miss Kelly. So let me go ahead and paint as much as I could, the bigger pieces, so you guys can see. Then I worried about the details off camera. But you see how it's starting to pop? You like the gold beam? And the red, yeah, brings it together for sure. It makes it very regal. Can I tell you that that's a word that it took me a long time to learn? Because in Spanish, the word regal is, I used to say regal. Regal. And I don't know, just there's some words in English that sometimes it take me long to learn. Can I tell you, here's another one. I cannot say for the life of me, and my kids make fun of me, because to this day, I have been in the States for 30 years, or a little bit over 30 years. I'm from Colombia, by the way, born and raised, so my first language is Spanish. So I cannot say for the life of me, guys, the word with, the width. You know, the width or something. I cannot pronounce it. I can't pronounce it. It doesn't come out of the Spanish tongue. It just doesn't. The width, I don't know. Like I say with a TH rather than the width. I can't say it. I can't pronounce it. So, yeah. It's one of those words I just doesn't flow from my tongue. There's a few other words, but that one is like, it always gets me. And my kids make fun. You know, I have, you know, once you have teenagers and once you have, you know, young adults, they think everything is funny. You know how it is. If you know, you know. So, yeah, I can't pronounce that. Porque en español es algo muy diferente. Oh, ¿cómo se llama en español? No sabía. Eso, ok, eso es un busto, sí, señora. All right, girl. Girly maid. I like that. Yes, ma'am. Girly maid. So yeah, so this weekend there's my to-do list to say goodbye Thanksgiving, to say goodbye fall. All of those beautiful oranges, and you know, this year I did a dual tone for my fall decorations. And we're doing crimson red for Christmas, and that is because it was my grandmother's favorite color, that red. So I'm gonna bring her in, honor her. So we're going to do that. Which is funny, believe it or not, I've never done a crimson red Christmas. I've always been very neutral. So for this one, you all, I've been working my hiney off. I am working right now on a tree, a cone tree that is going to be made all out of rosettes. I have already made 70 rosettes, and I still got to make another, I don't know, I want to say probably another 200 more. So I've been working on that very faithfully for the last 2 days. All right, you guys. So I'm going to leave it up to here. I have to retouch a lot of things. I'm going to retouch the inside of this red. And then we're going to do the angel because I want you to see a finished product. But it's not going to be fully finished, you guys, because this is going to be beautiful. It's going to have pearls around. I decided I have a thing of pearls right next to me, so I'm like, why not? Let's stick the pearls on. See how much darker it looks? And remember, it's going to be girly made, so it's going to be a little crooked. This is slightly crooked. Can't wait to see the pictures. The anonymity, I'm going to have to look at that one. Goodness. Anonymity? I can't say it. I can't say it. 5 minutes. Thank you. Oh gosh. What else am I supposed to do? Angel. Gotta paint the angel. Yeah, what are the crazy words? Gosh, there's so many other crazy words I just can't. It doesn't flow out of the Spanish tongue. You know how you guys have problems saying carro? You know, arroz, you know, those you know? You know how you guys have trouble saying that? Well, that's what happens with me. I have trouble saying, you know, the word width. I can't say it. I can't. Or there's another one, length. I can't say it. That's the other one. The width and the length. Yeah. So, how wide? How long? That's how I end up usually saying it. Because I can't pronounce the other words. Listen, I have tried. And you know what I do sometimes? I use the Google, you know, in pronouns. And I'm like, Google, pronounce this for me. And I'm like, I'm trying to listen to that and I can't. Oh, sí, esa es la palabra cameo. See, in Spanish, cameo is when someone, I think it's also in English, right? When someone appears in a drama or, you know, in a scene of a movie for just one part, for just one tiny scene, or just kind of like a backdrop, like a back person, that's a cameo in Spanish. I think it's the same thing in English. So in Spanish, the word for that will be bust. The bust of that. The German, are you German? B? She says the English and German for me. Oh gosh, I could just imagine. I wouldn't even give German language a try, especially when they go, you know, like with those very accents, you know. I'm funny. I'm real. You know, when you learn English as a second language, it's not fun. You know, like it took me a long time to understand. Why is it that a cook, listen to this one. Why is it that a person that cooks, I'm sorry, wait. Why is it that someone that paints is a painter and someone that cooks, we don't call it a cooker? You know, why don't you call it a cooker? If that person cooks, why don't you call it a cooker? Why is it a cook? And when you have someone that paints, it's called a painter. Someone that drives, it's called a driver. But when you have someone that cooks, it's a cook, not a cooker. You know? Like I never to this day, like, why is it that? I don't understand. All right, here comes little angel. You guys, it looks so pretty. Little angel looks beautiful. Are you ready to see him? Are you guys ready to see him? Okay, here we go. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? It's gorgeous. You all, this is going to get finished gonna go ahead and finish doing the gold on here. And around, do you see that around here? I am planning on putting a little bit of pearls just to kind of suit, you know, kind of like bring it out. Or so that's what I thought. And it's going to have a beautiful bow made out of satin, or yeah, made out of satin, nice glossy satin bow. And you know, and then have one of these, which I just got, by the way. Just purchased a whole new box, and I think it cost me $12, or I want to say it was $12. So here it is. Let me look at the time. I know I'm off for the past 2 minutes. I gotta get out of here. So look at this big bag. I just got this one. Lots of cloche, buttons, and see, so beautiful. It's gonna have that at the top. It's gonna be gorgeous. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna stay on YouTube. So if you wanna go ahead, those are getting in you stay that are on YouTube right now. You guys are gonna get to see a lot more of this. All right. Have a beautiful night. Have somebody else coming. Have a beautiful night. May God bless you. May God keep you. May His face shine upon you. May God grant you His peace. Absolutely gorgeous. Say Miss Kelly. Can't wait to see it. Me too. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, YouTube friends, and I'm going to see you when I see you. Okay. Have a buenas noches. Adios. All right. So friends here on YouTube, you all get to see the goodies. There's 5 of us right now. Have 5 thumbs up. So if you have any other new friends, then you get to see it too. Let's see. What am I doing? I'm painting. I'm still painting. You guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint just for a little longer more. But I'm not going to continue painting for too long, because I want to make sure that you guys can see the ribbon and just see the rest of the beauty on this. All right. But in the meantime, just me go ahead and hit it a little bit more with the gold paint, so that way you guys can see slightly more of the finished product. But yeah, if you are from another country, you know, I mean, I tell you, I have lived here in the States for a little over 30 years. And yeah, but there's some words I just they don't flow. There's some words that I just don't like, make no sense to me in English. Really make no sense. So, does that happen to you guys? Let me know. If you're from another country, you probably understand and totally get it. All right, so I am starting to, this is going to take a little bit longer. You can see that. Now you can see the sides. This is going to just take a little long to kind of get through every crevices. And of course, I'm doing it without glasses. I'm doing it without glasses. Oh, we have some new friends joining. Chef. Yes, it's called a chef if you went to school for it, right? But if you just a cook, you know, someone that, like for example, I'm my home's cook, right? You just, you know, you're just a cook. You're a chef, not a chauffeur. So yeah. It's like, especially when you have all of these words that are just, you know, they're written differently and they sound exactly the same. Me doesn't like those words. You know, like tail with an A-I and tail with an A-L-E. You know those kind of words? And especially the ones that is, the words especially, know the ones that don't follow the rules. So if you have a mouse, one mouse, you have a mouse. If you have two or three mouse, or whatever, is mice, right? Well, how come if you have a goose, is a goose, but if you have more than one goose, it's not geese, is geese. It's like, why? Why don't we follow the rules? Why don't we follow the rules? It's like all of these rules have so many like so many exceptions that it's like, how on earth when you're learning it, it's hard to learn it when because you are learning the rules, and it's like, oh, but the rules, this rule has this many exceptions in the English language, you know. So can you think of some other ones? I had a meme like that. I think I put it a couple years ago on my Facebook. I'm gonna try to see if I find it. It was from like an English teacher or something. I wonder if I share it on my personal account. That's what I think. That's what happened. All the many rules and all the many exceptions to each one of those rules. All right, friends, let me go ahead and work on the top part. So I'm going to go ahead and put this baby on the side. I have to give it one more touch of the gold, because as you could see, it just takes a lot more. On the back, it's going to be plain. All the action is going to be on the front, in case you're wondering. So I'm going to put it there to dry. Oh, really? There's nobody now? Oh, I did not know that. I did not know that, Miss Kelly. I'm so sorry. I would have stayed we would have stayed having fun. Ugh, too bad. Yes, sail and sail. Sail with an A. It's like tail, kind of like, tail and tail. Sail with an ALE and sail with an AIL. Yeah. Just this English language. The English language. Sometimes it's not very fun. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get, remember that I told you it was going to be my satin ribbon. I also have the organza, but I'm really, really looking for my satin ribbon, which I don't see it here. I wonder where it went. Not where it went, where I did put it and not put it correctly, because it's just all me. It's all me, you guys. And I'm the one that creates the messes. And in this side, I cannot blame anybody else but myself for not putting things away. When I'm, here it is. When I'm with my kids at home, I could blame them for not putting things away. But when I'm here, it's all my mess, and I made it all. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and look at this beautiful satin ribbon. We're going to use that. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and use my fingers to create this. Now, it's been probably a minute since that's another word. Like, why is that? Like, it took me a while to understand, why do people say a minute when it has to be more than a minute that it has happened? But they say, oh yeah, it's just been a minute since I did that. It's like, those kind of things. Hello, Ma, hola, ¿cómo estás? Yeah, that's the whole idea. You guys can still come here and find me. And if not, you could always come back and look at the video. All right, so it's been a minute, obviously, so I just talked about the word, since I did it with my fingers. So the first thing I'm going to do, here is that I'm going to, hold on a second. It's just 2 fingers. So I'm going to go ahead and just roll it around my fingers here. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to leave a little piece here. So now, the only problem is that this has a back and a front. A satin ribbon is going to have your shiny side and your dull side. So we're very careful with that. And I just want to make sure that I don't mess this up. So I'm going to go around my fingers, and then I'm going to twist it here because you got to show the other side. And I'm going to go around. I'm going to twist and go around, twist and go around, twist and go around, twist and go around. Okay. Now I'm going to put it through the middle, and at some point I have to cut it. So, okay. Now I'm going to put it through my middle here, and I'm going to bring it over and through the little hole. So it's like this. It's hard to kind of twist my hands like that. I'm going to bring it over again. I'm going to put it right through here. And that little loop that we created is going to be now our knotting. We're going to be knotting it. And hopefully, if life treats me well, I may have done it correctly. So I'm going to pull there until it's very tight. And this is how you create a bow that is very, very symmetrical on both sides. Now I'm going to bring it out, and I'm going to fluff. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my sides. I should give you a tutorial on this kind of finger bow making, but as you could see, I'm going to try to figure out which is the side. Oh, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and bring that over. So here is my bow. I could see which one has the better side where the knotting is, but now all of my sides are, all of my sides are the same. I just kind of have to fluff it up, open my loops. And then we have a very beautiful kind of symmetrical bow. So that's what we got. I'm getting hot. So now you're going to hear a humming. Thank you for those emojis. Oh, Kelly, that's really sweet. It must be the teacher part of me. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring this over. I'm gonna measure from the back because I don't want any gold to get on here. I'm gonna measure from the back how far I want it to go. So I really want it to go not too far, because remember, we're gonna put it on the front, and I don't want this to kind of overshadow some parts. So I'm gonna go ahead and just probably remove half of this tail. So I'm going to bring it, and I'm going to do my fishtail, dovetails, however you want to say it. And that is by folding your ribbon halfway. So that's the fishtail, dovetail, however you want to do it. You're going to fold your ribbon middle way, halfway like this. So you're folding it, a fold right straight down to the middle. See? And now that I have it this way, I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to kind of do a 45-degree angle. Here we go. Just like this. And that way, one is a little bit higher than the other, but I think I'm going to call it that is the same. Okay. Let's see. So now, what we're going to do here, I'm going to eventually glue this to that, but I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to put this to the side in the correct drawer. You all my witness. And then I'm going to go ahead and get some picks. Now, remember that I told you about the pearls. So I'm going to go ahead and bring out my pearls. I'm going to use my thin ones. I'm going to go ahead and glue these pearls to the back. It's going to make it the right measurement. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these pearls to the back, just because I don't want them to be the center of attention, but I do want to give it a little something else, like a, little something. So without burning my fingers, I'm going to hold it there for just a minute. Not a literal minute, but And now as you could see, there it is. In addition to this, we're going to bring, it's too white. Well, it is white. That is obviously the color I wanted it to be. But I need to give something in the middle that will be darker. Because by me adding something in the middle that's darker, once I add something that is the same color, then it's going to pop, right? So over here, here is where we have our little options. Now, you guys, I do have about, I'm not kidding you, I have about two different bins of just supplies, Christmas supplies, and I have not gotten them out. I'm literally working with whatever I have on hand, which is not a lot. So I'm kind of scraping here. If you get me, you get me. So I love the little gold leaf. I think that's going to be very beautiful. So I'm going to add a little tiny bit of that. So I'm just going to cut a little bit of that. It's just a little, this. See? So it's kind of like a fern, like a golden fern. I'm also going to be bringing this very soft and and this is snowy green. That's greenery. That's all it gives me. And this one you could purchase at the Dollar Tree. I think the softness of this is really beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a couple of these. They're just very soft. Okay. And lastly, there's a couple of these little tiny ferns here. So I'm going to just try to cut. And these are the snowy kind of ferns. Okay. So all of those tiny little things are going to become the backdrop. Okay, for this. Now, because this is a little bit too long, longer than I wanted it. So because my gold is going to be basically very similar to that, even though this one, if you could see it, they're completely different. See, I don't worry about that because you could always change the gold or the color of this. I could go ahead and take my brush, the same brush that I've been painting with, and I could go ahead and just go over it a little bit, and it's going to take away all the glittery look, and it's going to basically match the same tone of gold that you're using. So just think about it. Don't think that just because, oh no, is this gold, you're married to it. You're not. Just paint over it. All right. So just go ahead, and I'm going to put it down. And that is because I'm going to get my lighter color. Gold is a much lighter color. So I'm going to put it towards the bottom here of my bow, the center of my bow. And as I'm doing it, I'm going to be putting it kind of facing down. See? Now I'm going to start we're going to go from darker to lightest, because usually in nature you probably see the darker colors in the backdrop, the lighter colors in the forefront. So I'm going to start with my darker, gluing them there, just very symmetrically. Now we're going to put our lightest greens. All right, so now that we gave it a little bit, of kind of like darker colors on there, now I really, really would love to kind of soften that. And by that, I'm not sure if I have it here or here. Hold on a second. Let me think. if I have it here or have it here. I think I might have it here. So for that, I'm going to, let me see. Now I have to think. My first desire is to kind of put a feather, but I'm not sure if I have. I used to have this thing that looked like feathers, and I don't think I have it. So I'm going to go ahead and just give it a little bit of this lace. Lace is always very romantic. It softens things. So I'm going to go ahead and gather it up. I'm going to take that. And I'm going to just kind of crunch it up. Now, the fan is going to kind of like act like a fan. And it's also going to kind of give it like, you know, the softness and yet unexpected kind of coloring that we were looking for. I don't know, it's a softness look. It's gonna kind of give it something else. And if you have a feather by this point, feathers also will go ahead and bring that softness and kind of like, oh, so beautiful. So you see how that becomes. And now I'm only going to have one on the side. So everything is very symmetrical. We're gonna do that asymmetrical, and that way we have something kind of like unusual. Not everything is the same, because then it bores you. And because, watch this, because we have the feathers, or the lace kind of going this way, I found this one, you guys. You see how it has the leaves? We're going to go ahead and put them going the opposite direction. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Usually hot glue doesn't glue really well to metal, but because we are adding it to fabric, it's going to do amazing. So there it is. That is going to be the center. That is going to be going on the top. So the last thing that we got to do before we fully truly commit to this, we have to do the top. What I mean by the top is that we don't want to spend all this time on this beautiful thing here and then just completely forget that we have a silver topper. We don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys, I'm going to bring you closer. So we don't want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and get my things here. And this is going to be my rub and buffs. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to bring a little bit, I'm going to put this on the side because, oh, heavens knows, I don't want to get any rub and buff on my bow. So now I'm going to come over here, open it up. I'm going to just hold it by the clips. The first color that I'm going to add is my copper. So I'm going to add it on the side. And I could add this. It doesn't have to be using my fingers. I could use another brush. So I'm going to go ahead and get that with a brush. And this is going to be, the copper is going to be my darker tone. Let's just say good thing is not, oh, this came off. Good thing it's not glass. All right, this came off, so it's perfect. I'm glad that it came off because then it allows me to remove the glue that is there. And I'm going to add the hot glue to see. And this time, remember that it was a little bit crooked. You know, the Lord truly works in mysterious ways. So by this falling and dropping, that was the only thing that came off. Nothing else came off, just that. So it allows me now to fix it. Just removing any glue. And now I'm going to add my wood glue. I'm sorry, my hot glue. I'm really going to be looking this time around and see exactly where it needs to go. I mean, at this point, it's like, I gave you a second chance, Maureen. Don't screw it up. Great. It looks like it's put. It looks like it's set. Oh, goodness. Thank you. See? Now we're not. See, now we're not crooked. Yay. All right, so I'm going to put this on the side because I don't want that to happen again. So we're going to be adding our copper. Now this dried. And the copper is just going to be doing the darkness on the dark parts on this. So that way when we add our gold, guys, the gold is going to just become the highlighter. So again, we're going to have our contour, which is a darker color on the background. And then we have our highlighting color, which is going to be our gold. So just play with colors like that. It's fun to play with colors. And rub and buff, you guys, remember, it's in the title, it's in the name. So the more you buff it, the more it's going to become shiny. So if you think that, oh, my rub and buff, it just becomes very dull, just think about that. You're going to shine it up when you're going to rub buff. That's the second part. The buff part, buff it. Usually when you buy your rub and buff, you have a buffing kind of towel. There's another one in there that I haven't used. Change those once they become stiff, and then you could buff it up and it becomes really shiny. Now I'm going to use my leaf gold, and this will become my highlights. So I'm going to use again my brush, and let me see if I could, let's see how quickly or how forward can I put you. Yes, Kelly. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. All right, so remember, here it is. Let me see if I start from the front so you guys can see it. Just go gently, very softly on it. And that way, hold it from the top, it might be able to ease it, but I see it better. All right, here we go. Don't get it all completely covered with gold. Leave some parts that are just, you could see the brass or the copper in the background. See that? So you're playing with lighting. You're playing with highlights, lowlights. And the same thing here. Do it all around, and then the rest of it, I'm just gonna brush it here and there. Now, that's all it takes. If I get my buffing, my little buffer, I could come back, shiny it up. All right, so the first things first, we must put this down. We must put this down first. So, making sure that this stays put, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my wood glue once again, and I'm going to put 2 or 3 little drops of wood glue. This is going to be my long-term glue. Just drops. Now, You could use E6000. You don't have to use to that. You're not married to that. Now I'm going to go ahead and use really quickly hot glue in between. Don't put it on top of each other because they cancel each other out. Now I'm going to put this as quick as I can inside. Work with me, baby. Work with me. Okay. And that's the reason why I wanted to put both glues, because you know, sometimes the hot glue will dry out on you as you're putting it in. But the wood glue is going to long term hold it together. All right, so now where is our bow? I make sure that my hands are clean. I get this cleaned out. And now, here comes our baby. There is, you see how this bow, this ribbon in the back, it kind of just kicks, it's kicking itself up. So I'm gonna go ahead and force it so it could look very symmetrical with the other one. And just kind of, just fall down, just move down. And that way it's not a rebel. So I'm gonna go ahead and coming at it here. Okay, but I also kind of noticed that it is very heavy, and I am kind of afraid that it's not may not stay together. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and let's go see if we get another piece of ribbon here. I'm gonna get my ribbon. I'm gonna cut this ribbon in half or in quarters, kind of like a little tiny piece here. Because I don't have a thin ribbon. So what I'm going to do is that this ribbon here will become the one that is going to help me come together all around here. I'm gonna show you. See in the back here? I'm going to go ahead and put it all around here. See? Or I wish that I could put it under, but I'm going to try to put it so that I could, in a way, tuck it in so it will not be seen so much. But what I'm trying to do, you guys, is that I'm trying to give this ribbon something other than this metal to hold on to. Because that way, yes, because it's metal, it may take some off, Kelly. So when I'm buffing it, it may take a little bit off, but it's going to expose some of the metal underneath, which to me is a plus. If you don't like it, you could go ahead back with the brush and just go ahead and hit those pieces. I saw a trick to put the tops back on, pull out the top a little bit, the bottom. That is a great idea. That is a great idea. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. Okay, you guys are with me? So we're gonna use our hot glue. So we're going to, again, I cut a little piece. It's just to kind of give our bow something else to hold on to, something excuse me, something else that is going to allow it to be glued to, so that it could kind of hold it into place. So I'm going to just glue it in parts. Because, you know, it's not going to adhere to all this metal. And even as I'm gluing it, I'm not gluing it directly onto the metal. I'm trying to go underneath and kind of come come from underneath and make sure that it's glued as much as possible onto the ornament. Okay, now here on the front is gonna be covered, so that I don't worry about, but at least I wanted to be able to give me something to make it adhere to, because all of that ribbon it does get heavy. So want to make sure that something else is kind of like, you know, holding it together. So here up front, I'm gonna go ahead and peel a little part here. So here up front, I'm going to go ahead and just glue it onto that. I'm going to put the other one to come above it. Thank you, Kelly, for sharing that trick about putting it, you know, back into, putting the top back, because it is certainly helpful. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead right here in the middle, the center. Now I have a little piece here. And all I'm doing, you guys, is that I'm creating kind of like a glue, or kind of like a base or foundation, something that it could adhere to. Okay. So now when I'm attaching the back of this bow, I'm going to attach it to that little piece of fabric. Hold it in place. No fabric is adhering to fabric. I'm going to come back from underneath. And I am going to try to see where I could add a little bit more hot glue for my ribbon to adhere to. There. And there is where the pearls come in. See how beautiful that is? All right. So now the last thing that we got to do is to be able to add a piece of ribbon to hang it. So I'm going to go ahead and just put it through, loop it through the hook. I'm going to insert, see how it's double? I'm going to go ahead and insert these pieces onto here. Open it up. Up here on top, I am going to knot it, but I am also going to be using a little bit of flame. I'm going to burn the edges because it is ribbon, it is satin. And as I burn my edges, I'm just going to go ahead and push it down together. And that's not opening up. So what do you think of it? Isn't it beautiful? So regal. Isn't it gorgeous? And this is how it's going to be on your Christmas tree, you guys. I really, really give it a, really, really hope that you give this a try. This is the one from last night. This is more of a Victorian, and this is more of a Baroque. If you know your, a little bit more of your I don't know, artistic periods. This is more like a Baroque kind of style. Very, very gold, very gold. Everything with ornate and things like that. Very brightly gold, and and your ornate, your ornaments on the side. Very, very bold. So that's a Baroque kind of style, and this is more softness and and kind of like vintage. This is more bows are like very Victorian. Victorians just love their bows. So we have a Victorian style one. This one's gonna get a velvet ribbon that I ordered. It hasn't arrived. And this one is just ready to go like this. I may just touch a little bit on the gold just now, but it's just exactly the way. Nothing is gonna change. All right. Hope you have enjoyed this past 2 days. In this past two ideas, I wish that I could do a whole dozen, could do dozens of these, and I wish that I could. Think if I'm one to do that, I need to do it in steps. That means that I kind of like an assembly line, make all my paint all my ornaments one day, paint them all, let them dry, do all of my casts, let them dry, do all my ribbons, put them in the side, and then just assembling them together, and that's about it. So that way we could get a little faster. But yeah, I have enjoyed myself. I think is there a sale? I have to look it up, guys. As I said, I'm still trying to put myself together. I'm still trying to catch up. And but if there is, probably this one I will sell. All right. In the meantime, I think I got something on there. In the meantime, I had a good time. I might be on tomorrow. I'm gonna see if there's any spots available. If there's any spots available, I'll be on tomorrow. All right. So in the meantime, thank you so much. Don't forget to sign up, subscribe if you have not. Have a beautiful rest of your night. May God bless you. May God keep you. Make His face shine upon you. May God grant you His peace. My name is Maureen from His Girls Science, and I hope you check out my Instagram, my YouTube, and I'm also on TikTok, by the way. So have a wonderful night. God bless you. Adios.